Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to make a very quick specification on the title before getting too far into this video and having people up in arms. This is not Yellow Des Moines. I don't want to sponsor that because that's how we get first-blooded Des Moines constantly, and why everybody thinks this ship is so weak half the time. Not that it's not exactly hard to kill in open water. This is aggressive gameplay. It's something that the positioning of my team and the enemy team allowed me to do, and I had to specifically pick the situations I wanted to advance in, and I'll make sure to point those out. It's not something where I'm going to drive in, get crossfire, get my bow shot to hell, and just sink out in the open. So I just wanted to make that clear before we started. But I am in a division with 2 destroyers, and we're heading towards B. And yeah, this is going to be fun. It's a very destroyer heavy game with 4 destroyers, well, I guess I can't say it's very destroyer heavy because it's, well, there's 4 everything. But we're going to see a lot of them on this side. I guess that's what I meant by destroyer heavy, but regardless, we're going to be encountering a lot of those guys. And we're also going to have some interesting encounters with the enemy battleships. Something that the Des Moines doesn't usually get credit for. But to start off, we're kind of approaching this little dip in the island here where you could enter B, but I'm going to use it as cover. And I'm going to use it both for radar cover and for cover to shell anything on the opposite side of the cap. Unless I sneak out around the side of this island, I'm not going to be able to shoot into the cap, but as long as I stay behind it and nothing gets into the odd angle to spot me, I should be fairly safe here. And I can radar most of the cap. It's not like I'm a Moskva where I can radar the whole thing, but if there's something trying to make a dash for the island, I can at least cover it. So we see an enemy Frederick over there. There's a I'm not going to say it, First up north by C, and my team's kind of spread out. There's nothing that's really getting pushed other than my 2 division mates making quick work of taking Bravo. And there's my first target. There's an enemy de Gros that spawned, and god damn it, I keep saying it, but there's an enemy Frederick that's just barely spawned, I think, and got spotted. And I'm just going to start shelling him and see if I can't start any fires, because assuming he's shooting at something, or something's actually spotting him, he won't be escaping me for too long. And you can see I'm kind of checking my angles. I'm making sure there's nothing sneaking around in front of me as I shell this battleship, because if he can dip shells over this island, which I'm pretty sure he can, that'd be bad news for me. So I'm trying to stay undetected here, and there's my first fire. And you can already see that Frederick wants to get out of my fire, because, well, there's another one, and I'm just kind of shelling him for free damage. So he's starting to take evasive maneuvers. He's trying to get away from my arcs. Not that he's going to do it very quickly, unless he gets out of my range or gets out of spotting. But let's see. South isn't looking too good. C has a enemy Zhao going down in the middle of the cap, so that's pretty good. But they're not pushing either, and we have a pretty good ship advantage up there from the looks of it. Either way, I'm going to keep looking at this Frederick. I'd like to get a fire on him since he DCP'd as he gets away, because, well, as I say it, that will help if my team does need to take him down later, because that's help he might not get back. Then again, fire damage is 100% healable as long as your heal has the capacity for it, so we shall see on that. Looks like my last couple salvos are just barely hitting his tail. Yeah, not a lot of damage there. And since really B isn't being contested and there's nothing to spot me from C, I'm going to sneak in here and get behind this middle island, where I can extend my radar range and extend my firing arcs towards the south and possibly to the north if needed, and just make a general nuisance of myself. Now I could do this if there was an enemy destroyer on B, but if they were perma-spotting me and the enemy team got one of my flanks, it would basically leave me to die, because I'd have no way of going dark, and I'd have no way of you know, fighting back, angling, getting out. But you can see that the enemy Harugumo just got into Bravo. And my division mates are spotting him. It looks like the Daring is taking some hits. That's not good because they're already on low health. Come on, Reina, get out of there. But it looks like they might go dark in time to get away from the Harugumo. Just as the Harugumo goes dark, I pop my radar to try to keep fire onto him because that is a fairly threatening ship. And if he decided to kite me, that'd be a little bit annoying. And you can see I'm actually turning around and I'm going to try to cut off this Harugumo. Because if he tries to peel around behind the island, well, he'd basically get out of range of all these other ships because the island blocks his range. It blocked the view of him for their guns. But it does look like he's kind of making a break for the edge of the cap. My radar's got 10 more seconds on him. Looks like he's taking a pretty good beating. And there, I just got spotted. Hopefully nothing from sea decides to shoot me. This is a bit of a risk. And looks like the Harugumo popped smoke just as my radar went down. Will my last shot get him? One hit. Nope. Didn't get him. So we didn't get to kill that pesky Harugumo, but we did damage him pretty hard, and that's a destroyer without a heal. Now his tier 9 counterpart, the Kitakaze, is shelling me. And he's doing a fairly good job of it. He's already started a fire and has now started to blind fire my position and got another fire on his last salvo. Thankfully, the guys in sea were able to push the enemy back enough that I didn't get side shotted. And you can see now as one of my destroyer buddies moves up behind me, I'm trying to reverse and get shots over this island where I'm dark and at least get some damage off on the enemy team as they try to move back north, because we're not really, I'd like to say we're not heavily contesting A right now, but we do have 3 ships down there that look like they're trying to be in a position to push, though I don't think it's going to go very well for them. We've got me and 3 destroyers in Bravo, and I'm not entirely sure what our team in C is doing. I guess we'll check back with them later. But there's a fire on the Frederick. Let's see, there's the Kitakaze. My armor piercing is not going to hit that. Most of it got into the island before I could really get over it, I guess. And it looks like the Frederick's starting to move away, and he did put out the fire. Is he broadside enough for this armor piercing to work? Well, there's a 4,000 damage hit. I'd say it's working pretty well. But as you can see, C is starting to get pressured a lot harder. And this Frederick is, you know, kind of shrugging off my shots right now. He started to angle. My armor piercing's not doing a lot of damage, so you can see I'm switching back to high explosive. I'm staying in cover, and I'm trying not to get spotted. Because like I said, I'm not entirely sure what the situation up at C is. I know A is bad for us, and so I really don't want to get shot at. Let's see. Can I get a fire on this Frederick? Yep, there it is. And you can see my destroyers are starting to move up and starting to take on that active scouting role again. Hopefully if that Frederick gets spotted again, one of them can start shelling it. I think Reina will be from the smoke, and maybe we'll get him down here. It'd be nice to get him out of the battle. He's a major threat if I try to push towards C because he'll easily get shots on my broadside. So come on, we got spotting for Reina. That Daring can do a little bit of work from in there. Maybe the gearing will pop smoke once the Daring smoke is out. Ooh, there's some torpedoes coming in from the enemy destroyers too, so one of them is still lurking about. And you can see I've started to move up. I know I'm not going to get side shotted from A. Most of the ships in C won't be able to side shot me over these islands if I press up against them because they're so far back. And right now I can just barely lob shots over the island to get another fire on this Frederick. But my problem is there's something spotting me. And it's one of these destroyers. And what just popped there? It's the Harugumo, and I just radared to find him. Just as I saw the smoke, I get one shot off before my ship slides behind the island. And I leave him at 400 health. Come on, will somebody get him? Come on. Yeah, Somebody's got to shoot at him. There's some secondaries flying towards him. Come on, guys. Yeah, the Bismarck got him with secondaries. Perfect. But just in time, the Kitakaze gets spotted, I believe by our Grozavoy. And he is moving towards us. He's about 10 kilometers out, which is a decent engagement range for the Des Moines against destroyers. You can see Reyna just pops smoke and is shelling that guy while he is spotted. And we're just going to advance in that direction because we really need that guy gone. He has been a pain to us the entire game. We want to make it a less threatening environment to our destroyers. So this guy's got to go. And I am spotted, but I'm going to get into the smoke. There's 10 seconds left on the smoke. Right now, I got to get that destroyer down before that Frederick spots me. I'm slowing down. I'm trying to reverse back into cap because there's a Massachusetts and A that could easily peg my broadside right here. And that Frederick is extremely close. The smoke's just about to go away. The Kitakaze's not dead. My shots have not been landing. There's a couple hits, but he's gotten way out. Hopefully the Graz can finish him off. I'm trying to... Oh, never mind. My last shot did. Wait, what? The Frederick just shot HE at me. Must be he was loaded with high explosive for the destroyers and didn't get time to switch when he saw my broadside. Well, that's okay. I've dropped out of spotting. Oof, one more HE salvo got me. I'll put that fire out. I'm not worried about getting engaged on right now, so I'm not concerned with my damage control party being down. Then again, I did get spotted after shooting that. I believe that was actually from the Massachusetts down in Alpha, who's busy trying to end our Hindenburg's life. But the Frederick can't really engage me right now, and even if he does turn in, we've got a daring right there that's ready to chew him apart. Right now, I'd like to get some shots towards those guys in C though. They're really making a strong push. I'm not entirely sure what happened to our team up there. I believe they had them outnumbered. And right now they're just pushing that cab around like it's their job. Let's see, they got a Gearing, they've got a Frederick, and they've got a Des Moines. So that cab's doing the right thing and running away. And we just lost the Hindenburg down south to the Daring and the Massachusetts. So we're about to get pushed on from all sides. We've got a Bismarck and 2 destroyers left. Well, 3 if you count the cab, but he's going to be out of the battle for a little bit because he's way up in the north. So I'm continuing to move towards C. I want to try to get these islands in between me and that other Frederick. And what's this Frederick out here doing? If you look at the map, he's angling towards our Daring. And if you want to bet, or if I was a betting man, I'd guess that his guns are facing towards that Daring. And just as he takes some torpedoes, dropping him down to about 20,000 health, I'm going to take this corner before the other Frederick can get around his. I'm going to get spotted in the process, but I'm going to come around, guns blazing, armor piercing at the ready, and I'm going to start sinking shots into this Frederick's armor. And you can see I'm aiming a little high. I'm trying to get above his armor belt into the little bit of soft armor above it, and I'm rolling for about 4,000 on each salvo. And you can see he just noticed I was here. He starts angling towards me, but that opens up for the Daring armor piercing to get his side, and I finish him off for 2.7 thousand. Okay, so we've got 1 cap, kinda 2 caps. We've got the Grozavoy contesting A down there, but it's not looking great for this team. It's getting very congested with the enemy team pushing in, and I really don't want to straight up fight the enemy battleships, though I do get spotted coming around this corner by the Frederick as he pushes in. And you're going to see I'm going to face my bow right towards him. I'm going to try to duck his shot, but my armor piercing's not doing enough to really scare him. So I'm going to switch to high explosive. Come on, when's he going to shoot? Can I get behind the island first? Nope, he just shot. Come on. Oof. That one hurt a little bit. Didn't hurt as bad as it could, but oh crap. The enemy Des Moines is on my side. Quick, turn the ship, fire the guns, do anything. I'm not unspotted. I think I'm getting spotted by the Daring that's in cap. I can't help our Daring against that Daring. Our Bismarck's not in a position to help them. And it looks like our Daring's going to go down. I popped my Hydro, my radar's already been popped. but it's not enough to save our daring. Well, the Hydro never was. And you can see that Des Moines still peppering me, but I'm bow on. He's not firing high explosive. I'm going to try to sink a few shots into this daring, but it's not going to be enough to sink him. It's going to be enough to reset him, but that's not going to help right now. And it looks like I've distracted the Des Moines enough for the cab to get back into the battle and shell him from behind, so it looks like the Des Moines will be going down fairly soon. Come on, get him. Okay, now I can speed up. So now I gotta get around this corner, and it's do or die at this point. We've got our Grozovoy and a cab who's way up in C and way down in A against 2 destroyers and a battleship along with me. And my Des Moines is barely above half health. So it's not looking great right now. But this is the moment where I basically say it's do or die. I need to continue the playstyle I've been. And I'm gonna come around this corner and I'm going to try to gank the first ship in front of me, because it's either going to be this Gearing, who I don't think can escape from being detected, or I'm going to have to go after that Frederick and ignore the Gearing, which isn't going to happen. That Gearing can definitely get killed in maybe 2 or 3 salvos, depending on how my accuracy is. And it looks like he was trying to move away, and Des Moines' accuracy decided to favor me. I landed 7 hits and sank him in 1 salvo. So that was extremely useful. It looks like the Frederick noticed me just as I came around the corner and started swiveling his guns. I got 2 fires on him, which prompts him to use his DCP. Our Grozovoy just got sank by the Daring, which was unfortunate. And I'm basically alone right now. Our Bismarck can't help me. Our cab can't help me. I have to duel this Frederick. So I'm going to lightly angle my ship, I'm going to swing it every time he fires, and I'm going to try to duck some shells as I try to bounce the rest of them. So I did get another fire on him. You can see he's starting to turn to try to get his front guns on me too. Let's see, he's got a little bit more health than me right now, and he is a battleship, so it depends if he's used his heal yet. But I am getting some massive hits into his side right now. 5,000, 6,000... Come on, he's starting to angle towards me. There's another 5,000. He's at less health than I am. My DPM's tearing him apart. And this one should get him. Yes. Okay. So I maybe lost 25, maybe 30% of my health in that engagement. So that was actually extremely good. I stayed bowed on. I didn't bother using my 3rd gun. And I just kind of ducked any shells that I could. And you can see the Daring pop smoke down there. He's at low health. And I don't have to go after him at this point in the game. My cab's not in danger of getting sank. The Bismarck's still, you know, going north to somewhere. Not entirely sure. And I can basically just sit in this cap and not have to worry about getting killed by this Daring. Unless I take a torpedo. Which you can see I just popped my Hydro. I'm going to try to finish capping. And at this point, I was really revved up. I am going to get this Daring. But he's not going to make it easy for me. You can see he just took A and I just went dark. That means he's further out in A, or he just went behind the islands. And by that shot right there that I'm guessing he took to try to reset me, it looks like he's behind that southernmost island. So let's see if we can find him in the last minute of the game. There's his torpedoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's his 8th? He's got 8 single tubes. Where'd they go though? I wonder if he shot one into the island or if he saved one. One won't be that bad to dodge, but it still could leave me low enough that he might be able to finish me off. And you can see he probably poked out from behind the island again. And you can tell based on, well, I've kind of started shooting, that I think he's right behind that island, and I'm trying to kind of scare him. But I'm never going to see this guy until the last second of the game. He actually ran across the cap this entire time I've been spotted, and he's actually heading north now. And I don't have another radar to find him, so yeah. I'm never going to get that 5th kill for my Kraken, but I think it was worth it anyway. Yeah, there he was. Just running north, just outside of, well, about 2 kilometers outside of detection range. And I don't think I would have been able to run him down, though the cab that was coming up fast behind me definitely would have. So all in all, it was a really decent game for me. 176,000 damage, 4 kills, 1 cap, and a couple resets. And just the aggressive playstyle made this really fun for me versus the stereotypical gameplay of the Des Moines, where it's the guy hiding behind the island, shelling you the entire game, being a dick with the radar whenever you want to cap, and basically just being a nuisance, but you never see him, and usually it's like one of the last guys on the team. Or the other stereotype where it's the Des Moines that dies first because they're in open water and they go broadside. Regardless, this is a aggressive way to play it that was really, I don't really know the way to say it. It was allowable because of what my teammates did and what the enemy team did. In most other situations this wouldn't have worked. But 2,500 base experience is nothing to laugh at when you're on top of the team. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed this battle. And like I said, the aggressive playstyle really made it a intense game for me, especially brawling those 2 battleships, even though one was a bit too distracted with a destroyer to really do too much damage to me. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys might have picked up a few tips for playing the Des Moines, and feel free to request if you'd like to see another tier 10. Have a good day, and good luck to you guys.